Happy Friday, guys. Guys, if you have not done so already, please make sure you hit that like button. If you guys not have done so already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you have not done so already, please make sure you hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember to click all because we do go live each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern time. Thank you for tuning in to KL Culture Radio. Hey, Hakeem and Jordan, what's going on? What's popping?
Chilling, chilling. What's good with you?
Hey man, same over here, man. Feeling good, feeling great. Let's go, let's get it. Hey, Ronnie, man, shout out to y'all Miami Heat, yo. They they put an upset on the Milwaukee, yo. Now they going to face New York, man. Y'all doing good in
Yeah,
Miami, yo.
the rival of the centuries has begun. Starting this week. So I'm excited. I think a lot of Miami fans are excited as well. But go ahead, Jordan. Do your thing, man.
What's going on, people? What is going on? Hopefully everybody's doing good. Make sure y'all be live in the chat. Make sure y'all hit the like button. So this title is this is a bit of a sad story. It's not getting a lot of talk about, but hold on. It's not getting a lot of talk about, but we definitely gonna talk about it today. So there's this one 18-year-old named Jamiya uh, Bratcher.
Mm-hmm.
She did an interview I think a week ago. I don't know if it's on TikTok or YouTube channel of how
YouTube.
her adoptive parents told her, hey, after she graduated and everything, she told her, hey, what city would you like to go to? And she picked Atlanta. So what the adopted parents did, they drove her all the way to I forgot what city they was coming from, but they drove her
Chicago.
all Chicago. There you go, Chicago. So they
Mm-hmm.
drove her all the way to Chicago to a
No,
homeless shelter.
no, from Chicago to Atlanta.
They drove okay from Chicago to Atlanta, and they dropped her off to a homeless shelter. And now she also has like a brother too, and also she's autistic as well
Mm-hmm.
for her as well. And so we're gonna show a clip in a little bit, but so what happened was she did a little interview about how you became homeless and everything, and she said after 18, which is like a legal limit, once you're 18, you gotta get out, parents can choose if you want to get out the house or anything, but the thing is, when she turned 18, the parents drove her all the way to Atlanta, and left her in a homeless shelter, and just learn how to survive, as being a grown adult and everything. And it was very, very shocking to her, to feel like that because what type of parent, let her know, adopted parent, kick somebody up, a kid out, and just take her to another city, and just leave her out to say, hey, this is how the real world, the real world works. And so, and she said, when she got to Atlanta, she was petrified. She didn't know what to do. She had no money or anything. So, she was talking about she's in a homeless shelter and just, try to figure out life and everything. And what I'm hearing now, just looking around other sources and everything, um, a couple days ago, they say, she's missing, and it's long, and it feels like, she's being human trafficking or sexual trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know, in a big city, especially Atlanta, there's uh, a lot of women as teenagers in their 20s, who get picked on and you'll get trafficked to. So right now we're gonna play a clip that I said Hakeem to, and after that we're gonna chop it up. Go ahead, Hakeem.
All right.
For a few days.
A few days?
Yeah, I haven't been keeping count.
Okay.
Besides, I couldn't really hang out with friends. After school, it was okay.
Oh, why did you end up having to become homeless on your 18th birthday?
I, I don't know, man.
Well, I mean, okay, so what?
It was my 18th birthday, and according to law, on your 18th birthday, you are now considered an adult and you gotta get out.
Well, you don't have to get out. A lot of 18-year-olds live with their parents.
I mean, yeah, but...
So let me ask you this. Do your parents know that you're homeless?
Yeah, I mean...
They do?
I mean, yeah, they were the ones who dropped me to the homeless shelter, so...
These are your biological parents?
No?
Okay, these are your adopted parents?
Yeah.
Okay, so they adopted you and your brother?
Yeah.
What age? Do you remember what age you was adopted at?
4.
4?
Yeah.
So do you remember life before you were adopted?
Yeah, I was, let's just say, spoiled. I was really freaking spoiled.
Why would your adopted parents drop you off at the shelter thousands of miles away or hundreds or whatever?
Hey, it's a good place to get a job, bruh. Like, literally, you can get a job here.
Did you ask to come here?
I mean...
Or did they just bring you here?
Not really. They questioned me about it. They were like, where would you want to go in life? And I was like, making a fantasy estimated guess because I thought they were joking. I was like, oh, London, Atlanta, Great Britain, I don't know. Then next thing you know, I have a suitcase and we're packing in a rush to come to Atlanta. So, like...
How did that make you feel?
I was nervous and scared, but at the same time, I was really sad. Like, really, really sad. Like, on my 18th birthday, we couldn't even celebrate. Like,
Have you spoken to them since?
yeah, I always contact them. They never really contact me back. I don't know their phone number or their email. I just contact a friend who's close to my biological parents since she was with me since I was a baby. I usually contact her, but she doesn't really contact back, which is awkward. So yeah.
All right, so listen, miss, if anybody out there wanted to reach out, help, or donate, do you have a way they could do that? Do you have social media, Cash App, anything like that?
Yeah. I don't know how to use Cash App though.
Well, do you have one?
Yeah.
What is it? We'll talk after the video. I'll show you how to use it, but something tells me people are gonna be kind of concerned about this particular interview. All right, so we got your Cash App right here. All right, sweetie. Well, listen, we really appreciate you taking the time, answering all of our questions. And we definitely wish you nothing but the best out here, okay?
Yep.
Make sure you have a good one, sweetie.
You too.
All right.
And then also, I just found out. I just sent you a clip, Hakeem. This is her twin brother Jordan, and she's gonna talk about the abuse of that what happened between the adopted / foster parents. And as you can see, you'll see the adopted parents. You'll see the adopted parents shown in the video as well. Go ahead, Hakeem.
All right.
She just kept beating me and stuff, right? And then she lifted me up, she threw me around a few times, and I was like, nah, I don't really care much. I wasn't doing anything in the first place. But yeah, she did that. So then she threw me against, I was in bump beds, and she pushed me against, like, the what is it, stairs,
like
the ladder, the ladder. And then she grabbed my balls and then she squeezed them, and it hurt like crazy. So I was like, yeah. And then
did she ever do anything sexually to you?
Nah, it was just, I don't know. She really didn't like me, so, yeah. Huh. And then, like, my friends called me a nickname at school, right? They're like Teddy and all of that stuff, and so they beat me for them calling me Teddy and all of that stuff, and then...
Why did they beat you for them calling you Teddy?
Because they were like, you want to change your name and all of that stuff, and I was like, it's just a nickname, and they got pissed off at it. And note that I don't understand why, because, you get nicknames all the time. So it was just
they beat you for having a nickname?
Yeah. But I don't understand why. But, yeah.
All right, man. So, okay. All right. Did you get a chance to see any of your sister's interviews?
Oh, I did see my sister's interview.
So you saw one of them or all of them?
I saw one of them because I didn't even know what was going on, and I literally got in contact with my sister, and my aunt, she yelled at me and all of that stuff about the interview. I didn't even know what was going on. I was trying to find my sister at this time too.
Your aunt yelled at you?
Well, she didn't yell at me. She
was just concerned about.
Yeah, she called me up and she
so
was like,
what was you guys' relationship with this particular aunt? Because they talked about her in the other interview as well. So do y'all have a good relationship with her, or what was the deal with that?
Okay, so you know how I told you that my family, they said we didn't deserve their family.
They isolated you guys.
Yeah, so really I didn't know my aunt as much. We barely saw each other. And because like I barely, the only aunt that I saw majority of the time was my aunt Titi, Aunt Rolanda, and then my grandma. And even then I only saw her like 5 times.
In your whole life?
Yeah, because really we didn't go out, see him as much, and I don't know.
And I also want to ask something before I'm gonna pass it to you guys. So the Cash App y'all saw in the first video, it's been suspected that it's been shared across social media to help the girl, and they're saying it's been exploited and she is allegedly unreachable by her phone. So for now, people are being asked not to send her money while they search for Jamiyas in full swing. The black women only account for 50% of the United States population. They made up over 1/3 of 268,884 women reported missing since 2020, according to the National Crime Information Center. And for them, however, they may never receive media coverage, which would be like it could be national news or even local news. They're not receiving media coverage to find them and to bring them home to their families. So it's a lot of trafficking going on in the United States. And the thing is, for black women, there's no media coverage for them. You barely see media coverage from them. Here in LA, I remember a couple weeks ago when I was going downtown, I saw a black woman was posting around the city of her her child was missing. Her child was missing for 3 months. And the thing is, when I saw that, I asked her. I remember I asked her one thing. It's like, does any media coverage? Are you going to the news media coverage? She said, nobody want to do that. So it just shows to y'all, like I said, how the adoptive foster parents, you heard it from her, you heard from the brother, how they was abusing them, and then after that they sent them off after that. So I'm gonna pass it to you guys. What y'all think about this story? How you feel about the story? How you feel about how black women, black teens are not getting media coverage like they should with every other race of teens. Go ahead, fellas.
Now, here's the thing. In California right now, they're trying to pass a Ebonic alert the same way they have an Amber alert over there. So they're trying to pass something like that, because over here in the United States, we have something called the Amber alert, which people are aware of. When somebody goes missing, the Amber alert goes off. Now, the Amber alert is used for pretty much white counterparts. You rarely see that used for black counterparts. So now over there in the Congress over there in California, they're trying to pass called the Amber Alert. Will now alert parents and also men if any children that's black is missing. And I think that's a good idea that California is doing. Shout out to them, because we need to have something like that. Now, I'm someone that's very strong when it comes to missing black women, and I always keep saying it, especially when I do takes and when I be on people's channel. Black women is missing on a higher scale, and yet there is no media coverage. Because at the end of the day, people gotta understand something. People really don't care when it comes to black women, and also when it comes to black men. It's no sense of awareness. So for this young lady to be missing and no one has no sense of urgency to find out where she is, it's just kind of show you the heart of the people we live through in today. And remember, One thing about the pro blacks, this is why I have so much of an issue with the pro black situation. They want to blame the white man for everything. Kudos, I get it, but at the same time, when someone like your sister is missing, when I mean your sister, I mean your black sister, don't have to be physical related, but because we always call somebody my sister, my brother, if she goes missing, there's no uproar, there's no like sense of urgency to say, hey, where is she? Or harass the or no form of harass the adopted parents, because at the end of the day, it was their responsibility to take care of the child. But once again, everything always gets swept underneath the rug. But let's say it was a cop situation. Everybody want to protest, everybody want to riot, everybody want to lose stores, destroy their own community. But something like this, they keep this annoyed. And this is why this is one of my biggest issues with the pro-black movement. And this story right here is very, very sad, Jordan. And I know we're gonna go more into it, but I feel like we need to be ashamed of ourselves. How can you go, man?
No, definitely, brothers. I have been following this before it went viral. I just want to give a shout out to Atlanta Street Interviews. He did the monumental interview on the street where he interviewed her and the brother and stuff like that. So there's a bigger issue on hand with the point of the fact is how they ended up in the system in the first place. And a lot of black kids are funneling through here, and this is why a lot of them go missing. We already know social services has the worst track record, no matter what state you're in, especially dealing with people of color, black, Hispanic, and kids of brown. So when I seen this, there was some other troubling things when she was on the street. People try to get her to drink, smoke, and all of this and stuff like that. As soon as she got, and don't quote me on this, and I don't know this verbatimly, and I'm not saying this is accurate information, because this was a while ago when I seen this video, now that she's missing. She had got a lump sum of money. She had reconnected with her mom and the friend that she mentioned on the video that didn't call her back. I think she got like $10,000 in the last video I seen she was with them. So now she's nowhere to be found. She's nowhere to be talked about. So she is being exploited in some kind of way. I'm surprised that police hasn't picked this up, FBI, missing, I don't know. And another thing is too, people are not even following the proper procedure. Who filed the missing people report? I didn't hear nothing about that either. So this is what's so troubling about this situation, but it also goes into a deeper issue about the black experience in America and what we go through as far as like how we handle our own people. I would want to talk to her mother. How did you lose custody of twins? I would want to talk to the foster parents. Y'all was tired of them already after y'all done beat them up, took all the checks, and then put them out there. And I'm just speculating. We're not talking bad about anybody. The proof is in the pudding. At 18, you dropped them off knowingly that they was not prepared for the world. They didn't have no money. They didn't have no skill. They had just graduated from high school. If they did, who knows? They was able to be found on the street in Atlanta, out of all places, the home of predators. Atlanta preys on its weak. Atlanta eats its weak. Atlanta look for people to run over. What they call them ducks. In Miami, we say play P and get up. So these were nice kids who needed a little bit more time, a transitional program. For them now, they're scattered to the wind on the streets to be victims of society. Go ahead, brothers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to you talk about the parents I came, the adopted foster parents. It's just a shame is that, if somebody's missing, like your child, a foster child, adopted child, you're not going out there trying to look at what happened to your child or trying to find out what happened to your child or anything. That's just terrible to me. It just tell me y'all just doing it for the money. And the thing is about, it just shows you how terrible we can be as Black people, of how we just, especially if we were fostering somebody for foster care, and just getting the money and just trying to be there for the kid, but not care about the kid. Just do what you need to do. But when it turns 18, you get out of there. It's just very, very mind-boggling to me. It's just, and it happens more often than a lot of people realizes and everything. It's just very, very, kind of tragic to hear. And then also, it also tells you, like I said, we need more black media, especially like us, to really cover stuff like this.
Yes.
That just tells you we definitely need more black media because, like I said, the national news is not going to do it. The local news not going to do it because, like I said, they don't care. It's not a story. They don't really care about black women or black women or black men in general. They don't do that. So we definitely, if you want to find our kids, we definitely need to bring, work on black media and always put something on and say, hey, this somebody missing in this city, somebody's missing in this state, I know California is doing their own alert, and I feel like, as us as black people, we need to now make a type of act of if we find somebody missing, and it's somebody in our black community, we put an alert out and it goes straight to the phone and everything. I think that's something that we need to address, something that we need to work on, and something we need to address too. Because, like I said, it should not be this way, but unfortunately, it is this way. This is how black women are treated, all over America, especially our young black kids. It's I mean, hopefully, more black people who's on social media keep pushing it out. I know Instagram. I know Casual Harlem. He has a good following. I think he posted about this yesterday, talking about it. How sad the situation is, and I just really feel like if you keep talking about it, keep pushing it out, especially in black media. Hopefully, people can find her. Could search for, look for it, or somebody can see the last time they spot her or anything, because let her know, she might be into sex trafficking. She probably be in another city right now. It could be in Washington D.C. all the way here to California, Texas, and that's how they do it.
Or let's be even serious. Or something happened to her for the money. Sometimes it be people in close proximity that'll do you dirty. And they know women are the most easiest target to target. The point of the fact is, who cares? That's the point. And we need more people to care. Because the thing is, if there's not, we'll see more missing posters as we go to Walmart of tons of black kids that are missing.
No, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of black kids right now that's in the orphanage and not having no form of home. That when I mean no form of home, that no one's pretty much adopting them. I get it. I do get it. I get that concept. Being a parent is not easy. Being a parent is very hard. I'd rather someone to be honest with you, I'd rather someone give away the child than to actually do the A word, which I'm not gonna say on the channel. So I get the whole point of the concept. These parents was willing to take these kids on board, raise them, put them in their household, and probably give them whatever they need as children. Now, here's the thing. What this story is, here, her brother named Jordan said that the adopting parents didn't really want them like that. To me, if they would have seen that from the get-go, people should already know, like, hey, let me I mean, when I say the people, I mean the I forgot what they call them, the workers. The social worker would have been able to see that, hey, these kids might not be fit for you, so let us take them and take it to a parent that could really embrace them and take them somewhere where they need to go. More pretty much more of a loving environment, more of a loving home. Because Jordan, which is her brother, said it was in an abusive home, and they pretty much felt like crap. Go ahead, Hakeem. You was gonna say something. You muted.
There's some other things that you have to go to Atlanta Street interviews to watch. The foster parents had pinned them to beds with like safety pins and like tied them up and put them on beds. So there was a slew of abuse that was going on in there. Now, mind you, I don't think they do enough screening when they do foster parents, but I also want to comment on what you said as well. In our culture, in most black people culture, depending on who the parents are, we don't just kick the kids out when they're not ready, especially when they're special needs. The tools have to be built upon, and we got to know that you're ready enough to leave. But here in America, we practice on kicking kids out at 18. The Chinese don't do it. The Koreans don't do it. The Laotians, the Cambodians, especially people who we call Mexicans. It's not common to find 3-4 Mexican families in one household. 3-4 generations, I mean. So this is the point why our kids are endangered or being targeted for savages to ramage through them and take them as a part. I want to cast down Babylon. I pray they catch whoever caught Jamiya, who's ever doing anything to Jamiya. And I pray to God that if it was up to me, I would love to be in a battle to the battle to the D, in a caged ring to beat whoever did this to a bloody pope. A woman's supposed to be protected. We're supposed to take care of our women and children. That's our job as a man. And the fact that she's missing, nobody's not doing no search party. I can't blame her brother. Her brother, mine is not 100% there. But the foster parents, they deserve 5,000 lashes. Go ahead.
Shoot, they need more than that, Hakeem. To me, they need to be put in jail. Under the jail. And it's just mind-boggling to me. It's just like I said, they screen these people of how I think they're being their fit parents, their adopted parents. All they do is they get the money, but they just abuse their kids. I'll tell you one thing. Earlier, when my wife was a kid and everything, there was a time that she was in a foster home for a couple years before her father got back to her, and it was her and her brother, but her and her brother got separated. But my father-in-law, found them and got them and moved to Atlanta. But there was things that what my wife and also her brother experienced from 2 separate foster homes. There was some type of abuse. There was one time my wife, she has like a burn scar on her leg, on her left leg, I believe. And I asked her one time, this is like years ago, I told her, like, how you get that, it's like somebody put an iron on her leg. And she was telling like her, my foster mom did that to me. And that just really, broke my heart to hear that, because, she was in a foster care for a couple of years, everything. But it just tell you, like, they do not do screenings when they get these foster kids. To me, there should be a harder and tighter screening of people who want to be foster parents, and make sure their quality to do something like this, because it just sucks to hear, what happened to her, and and nobody's fixing that. Nobody's really talking about that. It's just letting it go and everything, and it's just really terrible to hear, especially in our community. It's hard. It's hard to hear.
No, it's a serious thing. That's why I say this one right here, I'm not really joking around with, because I do research about this all the time, and that's why I say I'm one of the men that really take this to heart, because at the same time, other communities do that for their women. They don't leave their women out there in the mud. But it seems like in the black community, we leave our woman out there in the mud and see like, oh well, it's just a black woman. She don't need no man, so let her go out there and suffer. No. And this is why in our community, black women don't respect the black man, because the black man seem to do nothing while other women do it. I guarantee you, there was more of an outcry of women taking the initiative, trying to find this young lady than the men do. Because men are taught online to hate black women, and the actuality that my nigga, you came from a black woman. Let's keep it a buck, right? Is she sick or not? Because she is special needs. It's our job as men to find out, okay, what happened to this young lady? And then something happened to her, like Hakeem said, somebody deserved to get lashes at the end of the day. Go ahead, Hakeem.
When I hear stories like this, it touches me. because you know sometimes I get the feeling of survival's guilt. I was blessed to have a brother and a father in the home. My mother has always been the matriarch. My father has always been the rock. I didn't have to go through these things, so it does hit a certain type of moment, especially as you spoke the story of your wife. You know what I mean? I can only imagine the emotional and mental abuse that she had to go through that. And this is why is I sometimes question why is not more black people adopting black kids? Why is not that? Why do we don't see a surge of that? A surge, a really
Because we don't really want to have kids. It's all talk games, man. Like Kaepernick when he said something about his white parents. I'm like, dude, at least somebody's willing to take you into the home and take care of you as they family, my dude.
And the thing is about it, before you go out, King, it's like it's a lot more white parents adopt more black kids than they do their own race. There are sometimes a black
Facts.
kid from another country, especially in Africa. Look at Madonna.
Facts.
I can name a few. Madonna and Angelina
Yep.
Jolie.
Yeah,
Go ahead, King.
and it's so funny because I've seen a couple people on TikTok who are black who'd adopted white kids. And that troubled me for a little minute. You know what I mean? There was just one black guy who adopted 3 white kids. This was a black girl who adopted one white baby. And I asked myself, my brother mentioned this to me earlier. We still have this white savior complex that we still deal with to this day, where we want to be so close to our oppressors that we fall into this complexity. The love for our people has never been genuinely there from a lot of people. Because if we did, we would see it in our own actions. And I've noticed that to this point. Now, mind you, I love kids. You know what I mean? I love kids, and I want to protect all children. And I don't want people to think that I'm only here not thinking about other children, but I have to think about my race first before I can start loving other people. You know what I mean? And I want people to put that in mind. There's so many black kids that are not being adopted. A lot of them run away from the adoption homes due to questionable things. A lot of these girls get trafficked. You know what I'm saying? And it is one of those type of things that where do we come to the forefront as far as the solution? We only talk about it here. I would even only ask Natasha, how is it in Canada? How is it in the UK? You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Is there tons of unaccompanied kids there that need to be adopted? But it only seems like our white savior is coming to save us with no black Jesus.
The thing you gotta understand something when it comes to the adoption. I'm being honest with you. That's one of my things. When I do get married, I do want to have my own personal kids. Don't get me wrong. But one of my goals is to adopt kids. That's why I work very hard every single day to get this bag, because I do want to pull back into my community. And the only way I can pull back into my community is adopting these kids. We all talk a good game. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We all talk a good game. I'm about the community. I'm about the community. I'm about the community. But yeah, you have these little ones out here trying to farm and being hungry. I'm a Haitian descent. I am Haitian. I get back to my people. I actually give money. You know, this is something that I am proud of. I actually give money every month to an orphanage in Haiti to make sure them kids over there are straight. I actually give money over there in Africa to make sure them kids get straight. So if I'm able to do that with my little bit of research on a little bit of resources, then you telling me these guys that's getting the bag can't go out here and adopt some of these kids? Like, come on, man.
Look what this Natasha wrote. She said, yes, there are foster systems here, and there are a lot of First Nations and black children who are overrepresented here. And it's so basically saying it's not only an America thing, it's a Canada thing, it's a UK thing, it's all over the world thing. So the perspective that we have to have, and you know, Ronnie just touched on something too, as far as like fostering kids and being able to take care of them. And this is why, You know what I mean? This is why, you know what I mean, there's so many things in the works that if God was to grant us youth centers, you know what I mean, job placements, you know, there's a bunch of things we would want to do. We want to help young men become men and women and young ladies become women. And first, they need to find a safe space. There's not that many safe spaces. And it's sad that the home where they at is not a safe space. I want to bring you to a case where, I don't know if you remember, like a couple years ago, where these foster parents, it was two ladies, you know what I'm talking about, and they drove over the bridge in California. Childish Gambino did a skit on Atlanta about it. You know what I mean? And even those type of situations do happen. And we chuck it up and put it up. And I even question that. How did the kid end up out of foster parent? We know there's so many layers to this. Why did none of them fight to get the kids back? I'm praying, I'm asking, like, where is Jamiya? Is she okay? Is she eating? Is she all right? Is whoever with her is treating her okay? Is they abusing her? Is they treating her like human or human trash? This is a beautiful young lady who only aspiration was to travel, wanted to see London, wanted to go different places, wanted to experience being human, being just a regular girl. But due to grown-up problems, she fell victim to that.
Yeah, Kim, you right about that. And then there's sometimes, like, you know, we go into, like, you know, middle school and high school that, you know, it might be, you know, 25, you know, kids in there, but out of those 25 kids, it might be, what you see, 2, 3, or 4, you know, who might be, you know, be adopted or, you know, or with a foster parent.
Yep.
Not knowing, you know, they might come in with a smile and everything, but when they go back home, they're getting abused. Verbally or, you know, or physically, they're getting abused. And then sometimes, you know, you might see something, there might be a bruise or a scar somewhere, and you ask them about, you know, how they get their scar. They say, oh, I tripped or fell, something like that. You know, they don't want to, you know, they don't want to tell them, you know, they're getting abused at home and anything like that. And it happens a lot. You know, it really, really happens a lot. You know, I just feel like, you know, when our kids are growing up, I feel like there should be more. I know that's the thing. I don't know why we don't have therapists in our schools. We need therapists in our schools.
Badly.
Badly, exactly.
Badly.
Yes.
Listen, every kid needs to have an evaluation the first day of school. We need to just have a talk, but this is something that we have to do for ourselves and not depend on the system. And that's the issue that was going on now. But here's the biggest issue too. A lot of this stuff can be prevented if people would stop the notion of minding my own business. That's our biggest problem in our community. We could be next door. Girl, you see Jamiyas' son, he look like he running away. It ain't none of my business. I ain't gonna do nothing. I don't want them to cuss me out. Why do we take this approach? What are we scared about? I've always been an advocate. You know what I had to learn about growing up? I learned that I was taught that mind your own business, this and that, but then I understand 360 degrees. If I don't step up or do something, that shit probably can come back to me or affect a family member.
Facts.
You know what I'm trying to say? And people might say this is one. I've called DCF on people before because I've seen kids being abused. I've seen kids look malnutrition. What's the best thing to do? Oh, you gonna let them take them away from the kids? I say if the parents ain't doing where they gonna go? I wasn't in a position to go take them, and then they're not gonna let a man take kids away from them. So I did what Ever so often did. I say, hey, I think they need a little bit of help over there. She's like, what? I think they just put on a program. This is what's important right now. And this is why in these are the type of conversations that'll never get 100,000 views. It's too positive.
Oh yeah, no, of course not.
You know what I mean?
Of course not. Anything that's better to the community ain't gonna get anything that better to the community ain't gonna get views. I'm just giving a buck. Even this one right here, we ain't gonna get no views. I can really care less, to be honest with you. Along with the awareness is out there and people are aware, because out of 100,000 views, if you get one person to watch and say, you know what, let me do something, to me that's good enough. I really don't really care too much about the numbers, because this is something that's really, really important, especially for our community. And Hakeem, you make a good point. This is why one thing I like about the white community. Anything that happen in the white community, they're gonna let you know what's going on. I used to live in an area where everybody's always peeking in the corner, who's coming in and who's coming out. That's good. In the black community, they can care less who comes in and who comes out. And that's the issue right there. Go ahead, Jordan.
Hey, Ronnie, you 100% facts about that. We'll just let anything happen, and like I say, in our black community, we just like negative stuff, and I never get that. I have never get that, like how we like negative stuff. We praise like do negative stuff. It is that's why we're just in our race we're just the lowest ladder, because we don't value ourselves. That's the thing, we don't value ourselves as black people, and that's the problem right there. If we don't value ourselves, it's gonna be like how it is right now. We need to gotta find a way to value ourselves as black people, have a high standard for ourselves, which we don't have any standards on ourselves. We don't give a damn about what we do. We have no standards, we have no value for ourselves. And that's why, year by year, we can say that the black community is crumbling, because it's usually this, it's not nothing new, it'll be the same thing over and over and over again. And then when we talk positive about it, you're not gonna get any views, or they don't care.
I want to touch on this. Natasha said, minding your business is often reflected after something has happened, but it's more helpful to be proactive before anything happens. Go buy your neighbor a pie, invite them to barbecue. Short story, she said, know your neighbors and build a community. This was something that we practiced in the 80s, the 70s, the 60s. Everybody on one street knew each other. If your dad worked at the steel mill, your uncles worked at the steel mill, your next door neighbors worked at the steel mill. You went to schools with their kids. You knew this. So she is 100% right. I lived on this block where I lived on for 20 years. I still don't know who my neighbors are. I don't know them. Because you want to know why? This is another perception about black people that we have an issue with. Sometimes it feels like it's weird to go door to door. Hey, I'm your neighbor down the street. How y'all doing? Some people might look at that as being weird. You know what I'm trying to say? And to be that, but she is very right about being proactive. And proactive in a way is you need to stop it before it becomes a cancer, because that cancer can come to your home as well. I want to shout out to Jabari. He said, I appreciate y'all being true to yourselves. These conversations need to be definitely. I want to touch on something, and I'm gonna let you go, that Jordan touched on earlier. He said a bunch of creators who's been touching on this topic, and I've been looking on this topic too before we got on here, they barely got 5 views. They barely got 1,000 subscribers.
I'm saying, of course, you're not gonna get the views, man, because people out there, they want a way of escape. I get it. I get it. It's YouTube. You coming from work, you had a hard day at work. You pretty much, some of these people, Hakeem, like I always say, some of these people need to sit on somebody's couch. Like, some of these people online are sick. So I get it. They want to get a way of escape. They don't want to hear something like this, like a black woman is missing. Because hell, their sister's probably missing. Nobody cares about their sister. So I get it. But at the same time, we as a community, if we want to change, these conversations needs to be had, like Jabari said. It's a fact. We need to have these conversations. That's the only way things will change. Go ahead.
People claim there's no black media. There's tons of them. We're just overshadowed.
Yeah.
There's tons of them. And I also want to give a props to Anton as well. He covers a lot of material too. That I'm a subscriber as well. And he does financial news. He talks about stuff that happens in the community and stuff like that. Plus, he gives a different conservative perspective. And that's another thing too. As black people, we have an issue with conservative thinkers. And you know what I mean? Because 90% of us are liberals. We can't all be the same as far as trying to handle one issue. We have to come at it from a different perspective. You know what I mean? And this is what is true to us as people. You know what I mean?
And the thing about that, Hakeem, um, 30, 40, 50 years ago, we was top of being conservative because we believed in family.
Mhm.
2023, we're like I said, black people's were majority are liberals, and now you see, like I said, we haven't, we don't believe in the family no more. We don't believe in religion no more. We don't believe, it's just a whole lot, yo. We don't believe in it, like I said, the family unit, the religion, and that's why we see a lot of kids, kids coming out, having kids out of wedlock and everything, you know, of marriage. Like I said, a lot of black people don't believe in marriage no more.
No.
Like I said, we rarely know people that we know or around our cities, Miami, LA, that a lot of people, black people, they're not really married like that. It just tells you right there.
And
And now this is the hard truth. The per- the black community gotta understand something. If you don't have the sense of mindset to take care of these kids, stop having kids. Stop allowing your kids to be in the system. If you're not ready to have kids, you're not prepared for it. Stop having the kids. And these men too. Some of these men need to have a vasectomy because they want to say, "I don't want to use a condom." Go get us a vasectomy because at the end of the day, you are polluting the community with your bad behavior. I'm just giving it the buck. And me and Hakeem, we grown men. We don't have any kids yet. Prime example tell you that we're very responsible. Be responsible. If you don't want your kid to be in a foster home or be in the system, you gotta start thinking like, oh, stop lying to these women. There is some men that lie to these women, like, baby, I'm gonna take care of you, and no goddamn well you're not gonna take care of no woman.
And the thing about this, and the thing is, our black community, they'll use that, especially the black women, when you hear Ronnie or Hakeem don't have no kids and y'all over 34, 35, they're gonna say, oh, are you gay?
yep,
What is wrong with you?
something must be wrong with you. Your soul
Exactly.
might not be
Man,
right.
I can give two fucks. You get what I'm saying? I give two fucks what the people think anyway. That's you already know. I'm a free thinker, so I don't give two fucks what they say anyway. Because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna put my kids in harm's way or in the system.
Uh,
And no, damn when I don't love this woman. Go ahead.
You're 100% right. Now, I want to touch on that, and we need to normalize marriage because marriage is the only way where we could prevent a lot of these problems here. And for us, like me, Ronnie, and Jordan's already married, so he's already proven that it's real, it's efficient, and it's serious. I chose not to have kids because I want to be married and have children. I want to do it the right way. I want to do it the way my parents has done it, my cousins, my brothers. I need to find a woman, and the reason why we waited so long is I need to be able to bring a lot more to the table because I know what my job is as a man. And a lot of women need to recognize men who are willing to put in work instead of having kids prior before the marriage. Sometimes we know some things happen. Nobody's blaming, nobody's pointing fingers at nobody. But it's too many situations going on with these kids that we need to protect. And a lot of this can be protected by implementing a system as far as, hey, marry before you carry. Talk to your pastor. Why your parents are not involved. You feel me? The Indian families, their parents are involved from the beginning of the marriage to the birth and to the death. Same thing with the Koreans, the Chinese who speak Cantonese and Mandarin. I always bring this because a lot of us idolize a lot of other cultures, but we never take on what they do. We never look at how their marriages are intact in that. If we had a sense of grips of understanding of why they're like that and what's the basis behind that, black people in general would be better off.
You're right about that, Hakeem. And we see like a black, like a strong black family, like I have, like on both sides of my family. And then I'm coming out in Miami or LA or other cities. To me, I don't see a lot of strong black families like that. It is a rarity to see something like that. So when I go back home and I tell my mama, how, living in Miami or living in Los Angeles, and how, here, back in, Pontiac, Michigan, which, our family is nice and tight and everything. Like I said, we have family vacations, we meet up in like holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, 4th of July, they meet up, and this is come out here, it's not like that. It's, to me, it's just rare. It's very rare to see like a very strong Black family that come out, support each other, have family get-togethers, family reunions. We used to be like that, but now it's like it's just me. I just got to work by myself, and that's it.
Natasha said a comment that has to be said, and she's 100% dead on. Family planning needs to be normalized. Figuring out how many kids you can financially, emotionally support beforehand. Now, mind you, she's so right. Now, y'all heard me repeatedly on here joke. I said I want 5, 6, 7 kids. Those are jokes. You feel me? But she talking about something serious. Like, I get married, me and my wife would have to plan and say, hey, can we afford this? Can we put these amount of kids to schools and stuff like that, and do that and stuff like that? And Natasha, Miss CC Saunders agree with you. She said, thank you for agreeing with Natasha. You know what I'm saying? And it's very important. And I want to say this to this point, and I don't want nobody to think nobody's not blaming women entirely for what the situation is for this young lady being missing or being in a foster care system. We know this is a greater whole issue. As people, we need to understand it's not only us, the mother, the uncle, the fathers, and this and that. And I'm only saying to this because in other cultures are very, very involved in the whole family structure. You know what I mean? There's a show here on YouTube you can go see. It's based in Nigeria. It's an African court where these two people, if a couple has a dispute and it's about the school fees and the upkeep of the children, the judge asks, have you had a family meeting yet? Did you sit down with the other family? The husband repeats, yes, I spoke to her father and her uncle. We came up to an agreement. Doesn't matter if you're 40, 50, 60s, 40, 45, 19, 20. The problem is in America, we do not believe in having family involved. Some of us come from dysfunctional homes. And that still doesn't mean that you do not try to practice being family oriented or being a part of some type of system or getting group of friends to create that system of a family. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what, with our Black community, what we adopted as being our new family? The government.
Yes.
Section 8, food stamps, Medicaid, all that. That's what we adopted. We adopted our government. That's our family now. They're gonna take care of me. Not the man no more. It's the government.
To be honest, Jordan, I don't have. To be honest with you, Jordan, I really don't have a problem with that anymore. Before it used to bother me, but now I get it because a lot of these men ain't doing responsibility anyway. Men today say I want a woman to take care of me anyway. So hey, I'm glad the government at least doing their job taking care of these women out here. Because there was a story of a woman in Atlanta who recently just got scammed for trying to buy a house for her kids.
But
you get what I'm saying? So, and it was a Black woman at that. So, and it happens all the time in Atlanta. You can do your research. It happens all the time. A lot of these Black women doing something right is getting scammed from their own kind. When I mean their own kind, Black men out of their own resources just to find a home for their kids.
So I'm gonna agree and disagree with you. That's why I said we can't totally blame Black men as well too. It's a collective situation. Because you want to know why? The more fingers we're going to point, the more we're not going to be able to come down to the root of the issue. Now, Cece said it takes a village. We need to get back to that. She also states that some of us, unfortunately, cannot get family involved. We have to create our own Black village and invest in each other.
Yeah, but the Black village start with the Black man. That's the only reason why I'm blaming the man on this one. I'm sorry. We are the leaders in the community, not the woman. But I'm sorry.
So here's the thing. Let's say you grew up and you didn't have a father to teach you the basis of that. Why is women choosing that then at that time too?
Well, at the end of the day, let's say you grow up without a father. It's still your father's fault. It's his responsibility to be in your life. There is no excuses here. If your father is willing to stay in your mom's life, I can mind you, your father been around your life over 40-some
Yep.
years. Same here. My father been around over 40-some years. He could have easily walked out,
Yeah.
but he stayed.
Listen.
So what's the excuse there?
Let me come up on here because, like I said, I was raised by a single family home. My dad, he didn't do his, like I said, I admit, my dad, he didn't do what he was supposed to do with me. But the thing about it is, the thing is, you have to forgive from that. Even though me and my father's not talking, I don't hate my father for not being there. You know, I don't shame her or guilt him anything because he already knows what he did. Now, for that is, you know, you did what you did. Okay, you know, I can forgive you of what you did, but like I said, but the thing is, we're not talking. So what I have to do is, okay, for me, it's like, okay, for me, I'm not gonna do what my father did. I'm gonna do the right thing. I'm gonna get married. I'm gonna have my kids, and I'm gonna be, you know, be good for my black community. Even though, like I said,
So
I agree to a certain extent about that, Ronnie. But the thing is about it, it's like, okay, cool. We just have to develop, like especially our black kids who's being in a single parent household, and make sure in our community, which is a village, we can, you know, a father figure can build that from him. Because that's kind of helped me out of father figures, you know, my uncles, my granddads, and everything. They helped me build that, and
um,
also, you know, my a late father of mine who died, you know, back in 2005. You know, his name is Dale Smith. You know, I have his middle name and everything. You know, he did a lot more things than my father could. Um, you know, I used to have envy because of that, but it's like, now it's like, you know what? It's I can't be mad at my father forever and ever. You know, I just have to find forgiveness and just leave it alone, and just say, hey, you know, if my dad couldn't do it, but like I said, I'm gonna be different from my father. You know, I'm gonna do I needs to be done for me, and also, you know, for my wife and for my black community, because I was raised in a strong family. And
no, but
yeah.
I agree. But this is my thing, Jordan.
Mhm.
The thing is, man uses the excuse a lot. The woman pushed me out of the home. The woman, the courts, they use any excuse in the world, but like, Ronnie, you don't understand because the court situation. I say at the end of the day, those are your kids, my dude. Those are your kids. And who cares about the courts? You take your court, take the child support, take the money. At the end of the day, you're not gonna take me away from my kids. And this is why the problem is with this system today. A lot of people say, well, the court's telling me I gotta pay $1,500 a month. I'm gone. You got my money every month. No, because at the end of the day, the kids still get affected. Money don't bring healing, bro. The father do.
And I'm gonna say
But
this
go
too.
ahead, King.
And that's just tell me, it's like you say, either, you know, to the guys, like I said, you shouldn't have not kids. You shouldn't have kids with that woman. You know, you should have chose correctly, because if you're gonna have
Facts, Jordan.
if you're gonna have kids, if you're just gonna sleep around and have kids, you're gonna have kids with any type of woman. If you're gonna have a kid and you found out, you know, the mother, she acts a certain type of way, that's your fault, because you didn't put no condom on, you didn't vet her properly, and now you have to, you know, you have to go pay it. Now
Now you talking.
you having the kids come out, then the mother's acting totally like went on 180 on you because you didn't do the proper vetting that you should do, or you didn't vet her as being a wife. You just having sex, you know, uncontrollably, and just having sex and here and there all the time. So don't give a damn. But the thing is, it's karma. It's always gonna come back to you. And then when it comes back to you, you say, "Oh, I can't do this and that." The thing is, it's like we hear this story over and time from that man, but sometimes, you know, we just like sex. We think of like having sex can cure anything, you know, because it feels good. But end of the day, we have a kid by a chick, and then the chick does 180. It's your fault because you should have vet her. You shouldn't have had a one night stand, or, you know, having sex without using the condom. Like I said, back in the day, we used to, you know, back in the 90s, I remember commercials always, we used to say, wrap it up.
I was gonna
Wrap
say,
it up. You see that commercial come in, like every time commercial comes out, you see it like on MTV, BET, like wrap it up. Now, 2023, we don't hear that no more. We don't tell our men to wrap it up or practice safe sex. We don't say anything. They just go and have sex with no condom, and that's it.
hey, I did a reaction about a young girl on the video who gave a guy an incurable disease in a bathroom stall, and this was at a beach festival. And so you're 100% right. So I just want to touch on these comments. Muhammad said, "This is war." Sister Sultan said that in the 90s. Enough is enough. You got to take what you want after a certain point. This is why the book is called The Crisis of the Negro Intellectual by Harold Cruz. Cece said, agreeing with you, we as black women want to do the right by our children. Our children are dying every day and we need a black man, but can't wait on them. That is a fact. So another thing he said, cliques took over the ship. And this is something that Muhammad says. Hakeem told me to fight through my problems the other day. To my surprise, it's working better than I thought. In one of the worst situations of my life, my wife put me out. F it then. I would just take over the streets. He says, what great men in history asked his wife for permission to conquer? Napoleon.
Facts.
Shaka Zulu.
Fact. That's what I'm telling you.
Clarence 13. All these men fight and took over their environment.
Preach. That's what I'm telling you. You know what we're supposed to do. We ain't supposed to let no woman take control. Now I understand the simple fact. Some women out here are doing a great job raising these kids alone. However, as a man, it's your responsibility to be in your kid's life. You never allow a woman to take you away from your kids. Hell no. Preach, Muhammad. That's what I'm telling you. Facts.
No, definitely. And you want to know something? I've been knowing him for quite some time, and we still sharpen still. And here's the thing. Just like him, y'all brothers, y'all are part of my community that keeps me in check, that keeps me vibing. This is why my older brother, my cousins, and all of this, and it's important to have that village around you and stuff like that. And he is 100% right. Here's the thing. You initially are into a partnership with your mate. Until your mate does not want to be in a partnership, then somebody has to take the lead. You automatically have to take the lead 100%. You feel what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
And if you're not equipped for that, I tell men all the time, if you're not equipped to take the lead and make sure your wife and kids are straight, then best to get yourself ready before you embark on a mission of marriage or being with any woman.
Hey, look what Muhammad
There's
says,
so many
man.
stories.
Hey, Muhammad, man, we appreciate you too, brother, man. We
Definitely,
really do.
brother.
Yeah, you be inspiring me too, Muhammad. I ain't gonna lie. Your comments it be hitting me in the chest. You feel me? And it's real talk.
Hey, Muhammad, listen, brother. We all fighters here, and this is your tribe. You know I'm your tribe, and we here to still sharpen steel to inspire this, because you want to know why? Every brother here done been through it. Every sister here done been through it. You know what I'm trying to say? There's a bunch of people here who's going through things we do not know about. And this is why it's imperative to us to congregate as a community so we can be each other's crutches, to be each other's inspirations and stuff like that. You know what I mean? To say that, hey, don't worry, you're down right now, but it's going to be okay. Them kids and the foster kids, they don't got that. But we're lucky enough to have that. If we can start with this basis and build a community big enough, we can, as people come together and start to do beautiful things. It doesn't take a lot, but first we got to take care of ourselves. And this is why we here for each and every one of us to inspire us to say, hey, don't worry, things will get better. No matter what.
Facts. Preach.
Yeah.
Preach. And then for this woman that's missing, like, it breaks my heart just even thinking about it. And that's why I said there was no media coverage. And this is why I'm so upset at the media, because at the end of the day, they ready to cover Jerry Springer because he passed yesterday. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, he passed yesterday. Everybody say, my condolences. Oh, he's a legend. He's the GOAT. But then a black woman is missing. There's no coverage.
Basically. And Jerry Springer was the ringleader of this dysfunctions, putting out dysfunction.
Oh, Hakeem, don't you start. Don't you start there. Because you absolutely right on that. I would say, don't you start. Yeah. That's just a whole nother topic right there. Yeah. He capitalized off of black folks. Oops, did I say that correctly?
Yep, off our dysfunction. And this is why I say we have to have a code of conduct. When I say that, people was like, oh, you trying to be like everybody else. Listen, you have to study other races. They're next to us. They're not going away. We wasn't just here by ourselves. They was here too. But, you know what I mean? For us to be even respected,
Hey, Sugar, I'm getting real close. I'm gonna block you right now. Keep messing with me.
Yeah.
Keep
No,
keep messing with me, Sugar. I'm gonna block you right now.
no, Sugar, we having a real serious conversation, baby. This is you know what I mean? This is
She knows because she came in earlier when her eyes popped out.
I ain't gonna lie. I
When
need
we
a
said,
laugh. I need a laugh, my kid, because I'm like my face is fired up. You get what I'm saying? Hey, what's going on, Ruth?
hey, Bruce, shout out to you, Ruth.
Welcome. What she left a comment, Ruth. Just Jay, what's going on, sweetheart? What's going on, sunshine? Ruth comment. You see how I came?
Yeah. Oh, let me put it up. Shout out to her. She said, "This is sad about Jamiya. It seems like the brother is trying to find her by himself. That is a fact.
That is a fact.
But let me tell you, this is what I didn't understand. When Jamiya got with Ruby, Ruth, her and Ruby went to do their own thing and left the brother behind. He was out here in the wind with the savages. But him, an instinct of himself, and this is why I say, even a guy like him with whatever the disability he has, he still have the innate understanding of being a man to try to protect his sister. I gotta find her. I gotta protect her. And this is what we try to preach and say: protect your loved ones, love your loved one, love on your loved ones. Don't be scared to ask for help. Don't be scared to say you're weak. We gotta protect us and to protect these kids. You know what I mean? Just because your kids ain't my kids doesn't mean that I'm not supposed to look after them. I see them on the street, they in some problem, we popping out. I see them you know what I'm saying? I see them about to jump or get into some stuff. We pulling out the blicks. We gonna make sure they straight. But we, as an innate thing, a lot of black people don't practice that no more. We need to get back to the whole village mindset. The only village I've seen, besides the Africans, I'm saying like a model here in America that I've seen that's intact, that has not been tampered with. Muhammad can speak for that too. It's only the Nation of Islam. They have a code of conduct. They're serious about marriage. The minister's there at your local mosque. He talks. He presides over things and stuff like that. We need that for everyday black person here.
Facts. Beautiful topic. And I love topic like this because it brings a sense of awareness. Of course, pretty soon we will have the definite resources so we can be more proactive in aspect of the community. But as of now, to me, we have a great platform. We're bringing it out there, and it's pretty much going to go coast to coast. Best to believe that, because this woman need to be found. A lot of other black women need to be found, and it's just a sad day in America to see that literally as black men, we turn our back on the black woman. It's literally a sad day because I've never seen that. In our history, you can see it's always been a black man protecting the black woman. Now the black man has turned their back on the black woman.
Yes.
And it's bringing our community down to the downfall. Any final thoughts, guys?
Yeah, well, for me, we just have to do better in the community. Really pot in. But I'll just give y'all. I had a stat. I want to show y'all. I want to say. So according to the National Black Women Justice Institution, of sex trafficking, 40% of victims are black women, and that's the highest percentage of any race. And that's
40%.
Yeah, the highest percentage of any race. So that just tells me we have to do a whole lot better in our community, because you ran on point on that, Ryan. Like I said, we're trying our best against black women. And the thing is, these are our sisters, these are our daughters. It's crazy like that. We just gotta get back into the village, and we gotta do right by our community. That's my final thoughts on that.
My only thing is we need to come together as a community. We need to put a stop to this missing black woman situation. And I'm agreeing with the Congress they're doing over there in California, and the governor and the Senate, how they trying to create a Amber Alert. The same way they have an Amber Alert, create a Ebonic Alert. So we can let people know, like, hey, in your community, a black woman is missing. You guys need to be alert. That's my take.
My take is I want to end this off with love. I want to end this off with God. I want to end this off with village. And I say that we need to get back together and try to practice this village mindset as much as we can. And you know what I mean? And hopefully we have a little village here that we can pray and protect everybody. And that's my final message on that.
And of course, thank you to all you guys that came in and support the show, like always, coming through with your lovingness, with your strongness, with your guidance. We talk about Mr. Muhammad, Natasha, Des J, Jabari was in the building, a new subscriber, Ruth. Welcome, thank you for coming. Who else we got here? Ken Dog, like always, Del Long, and some of you got Sugar Bomb. sugar. Well, I tell you, she's something special. And people that are gonna watch us later. Thank you guys for joining. Oh, and Brownie, what's going on, Brownie? What's going on, sweetheart? Thank you for coming. Yeah, like that's what I love, man. At the end of the day, I told you, Hakeem and Jordan, black women gonna support you, man, when you support them. You know,
definitely.
If you gotta, yeah, you always late, Brownie. That's why I say, see, that's why I always get to talk. It's very important to hit that notification bell on the right hand side. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, you late. Just watch the playback, Brownie. We miss you, so watch the playback. Well, make sure you guys on your way out, hit the like button, and also hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And make sure, again, hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember to click all. We do go live each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern time. Thank you for tuning in to Chaos Culture Radio. You guys enjoy your weekend and stay safe, especially black women. Stay safe. We talk to you guys later. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.